Greetings, fellow Ambazonians, wherever you are across the globe watching me for this very important presentation that I have for you. My name is Capo Daniel. I am the president of the Ambazonian People's Right Advocative Platform and the commander-in-chief of the Ambazonian Dark Forces, a guerrilla forces in Ambazonia that fight for our freedom, our independence, and the people's rights in Ambazonia for self-determination. You are all welcome. Today, fellow Ambazonians, I will take you into a deep presentation as I had promised you before I had this my short trip that I had, which have been a very deep time for reflection, engagement with other stakeholders and our international partners to listen to what the international system have to say to us post the pre-talks in Canada. It has been a very, very tough time, very engaging to listen to people, listen to everybody, and listen even to La République du Cameroon. I've paid attention to what they have to say and how they have reacted, even through the talks in Canada. I've listened to them. I've been very privileged to have time to listen to what they have to say. I've been in session with them to hear what they are trying to do and get first-hand information about the thinking of Paul Biya's mindset about this struggle and the other factions in Cameroon, including Ferdinand Ngongo and the various stakeholders in La République du Cameroon, including those who are in the northern part of La République du Cameroon and some opposition leading figures within La République du Cameroon. I've listened to them very well. I've also listened to the Europeans' position about our struggle in depth. I've had conversation with people that have provided a very good insight in what the international community thinks, including in the United Kingdom, lawmakers within the international kingdoms about what they really think and what they have been observing and what they can do and what they cannot do, including that of the United States of America, that of various positions of the Canadians and many countries that have interest to make sure that the humanitarian crisis in our country come to an end, and that somehow this war with La République du Cameroon should come to an expectant end. I've listened to all of our factions. I've spoken to all of our leaders, some directly, some indirectly. I've listened to our soldiers on the ground and everybody, and have promised you to deliver you policy statement on how we shall move forward with our struggle. And I'm going to do that starting from today. It's probably going to take me around maybe 4 different presentation to present to you exactly how we have to move forward, and I hope that you follow me through this journey to our freedom. As I told you, after I resigned from the AGOFC, I came out with the mindset to collaborate and see how we can move this struggle forward. But the reaction of the Dr. Chuayaba and some small few people that surround him have made me to take the decision to carry this struggle forward as the primary leader of this liberation struggle. And I know a lot of our people are wrapping their head around what this really means. And you are going to get to know that very soon. But I promise you, this is what we have to do for us to be able to free ourselves, to secure freedom for our people, and to be able to get anything for our people for all the sacrifices they have made so far. So this is not a game. I wouldn't go on to talk about what has happened on social media these few days, but I will mention it in passing because it may also educate our people. You saw what happened in Babanki. Our soldiers died, some of our soldiers died in Babanki, and our civilians were massacred. I've spoken to the general who is in charge of that particular unit. I've spoken to the people around. And you have had John Baokoro have gone and taken publications from Mimi Mefo with the hope of challenging what I have said. And it goes to point to our people what I have established and what I have told you, that do not expect any of these major 5 organizations that we have in our struggle to be able to be responsible or take us forward, because all of them have become so partisan that all they do is play politics with your life and with the future of our country, with very serious consequences that may befall all of us. John Bakoro have not spoken to any of the soldiers who are involved, none of them. But he comes out there to make statement because he just wants to challenge me. And remember that John Bakoro, I consulted him for the ban of brasseries and many other decisions. But he will not come in front of our people to talk about those things, because in as much as he wants to take decisions, he cannot. He's wrapped with those type of group politics and things like that. And it goes with all the organizations. That is why for us to make any progress, I have to establish this new leadership for our generation, especially for all the youth, to represent the interests of our territory and move us forward. I will be doing so, and I'm doing so with our international engagement so that we can move forward. I'm going to call on everybody to reconcile our entire nation so that we can together move forward. Right now, I am playing this role. I don't know tomorrow if I will play the same rule forever, but I have a direct obligation to play this role because I am responsible for this struggle for most part. Most of the major policies, I designed them. I've recruited soldiers, I've trained soldiers, sent them to war, and I have a direct responsibility to make sure that we see this thing through. Our people should always know that don't rely on individuals alone. We should build systems that can protect our country and institutions even against our own self and against our own shortcomings. That is my belief. And that is why I'm here today. Without much ado, I will just go straight into this presentation so that our people can get a very clear vision of what we are going to do and what I'm doing for our country. In the beginning of this struggle, our struggle had so many options on how we can come out of this crisis or this war. Since 2016, we believe so much in the justness of our cause that because this is a just cause, because Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon did not have a union treaty with La Republique, because of the marginalization, these which are legitimate, because of the francophonization, because of the brutality of Pobia, we believe that we can convince the international community to respect international law and ask Cameroon to leave our territory. We believe that we can fight our way through. We have a lot of options. And that has hung on the support and the sympathy on the international community that have sanctioned Pobia, sanctioned La Republique, removed them from AGOA. The Germany withdraw their support against the fight against Boko Haram. The French parliamentarians have debated. We have a very good case. The American ambassador have indicted Pobia for war crimes in Ambazonia. We have a very good case, and that has been our international support and hope for the international system have been the base that has kept us going. And unfortunately, we have lost all that international sympathy following the Canadian pre-talks. After the Canadian pre-talks, things are no longer the same because of the bad judgment we had in that Canada pre-talks and how the Dr. Chua Yaba, which he was the default leader. He was a leading because of the egg of sea, all of our strength, my presence there, and my backing for our team there put him at that advantage to be able to determine how things goes out. And we had wonderful strategies on how we can lead the various groups without actually appearing to be the leaders, which was the only way we could do it. We were united in Canada not because we were united, but because the Canadians brought us together. That is just a fact. Our liberation struggle is very much divided. But one thing is for sure. If the international community decides to bring us together, they will do that. The Canadians have succeeded. And that is how we are. So we have lost significant international empathy following the Canada pre-talks. And Thibault Nagy have captured it and expressed exactly what I have been hearing from everybody in the international community. which was a complete rejection of the hardline position of the AGOC that is representative of Dr. Chuayaba in his tweet, where he quoted that there is no country in the world that is going to say to the Republic of Cameroon, you sit down with the people of Southern Cameroon and decide on how you are going to divorce. That is a quote from Thibaut Nagy, and it reflects the mindset of the international community, I guarantee you. There is no possibility for us to have any country in the world that is going to force Cameroon to leave our country now as it is. This particular position is a direct result of what happened in Canada. Because we came out of that process being seen as providing Paul Biya a way, being the belligerent faction there, and Paul Biya took maximum advantage of that situation, and this is what it is now. So you will be hearing a lot of propaganda and a lot of people trying to hide the reality to you, playing politics with you, but this was a very slim chance that we have, and it was made absolutely clear to us that it is a slim chance that they have given to us, and we have squandered it. That chance has come and it has gone. No matter what they come and deceive you, oh, they have had a meeting here and there. I'm also having those type of engagement, and I can assure you that none of those meetings is about asking La Republique to leave Ambazonia. And even if they have to bring La Republique to the negotiation table, it will not be in the same terms that we had the Canadian pre-talks. It wouldn't be. It's no longer possible. And our people must know the reality and know how we can move forward, which is what I'm about to bring to you. So there is a pathway for us to be able to attain our independence. There is a pathway for independence that is very clear. I've discussed that with a lot of experts. I've discussed that with a lot of international partners. And that will require us to do certain things together as a country. Benzi, I'm live online. Okay. Okay, fellow Ambazonians, just give me a minute. I need to forward some messages in email. Okay, I'll send the email later. So I'm going to take you to exactly the type of inconsistency that our struggle have had, that have been very problematic for the international community to comprehend what we are trying to do, and have given Paul Biya a maximum advantage over us. There are many things that we have pushed forward both to our people and to the international community that is not compatible with international rule and laws. I'm going to bring those things to you and show you what is the reality in international law and how we can move forward. There is a way that we can clearly move forward and be able to secure for our people a pathway to independence, and also to secure for our people something out of this struggle. And the danger is that if we do not send the right signal to the international community, we will face a situation of total loss from La Republique du Cameroon, because the international community will have no empathy or any incentive to try to push Paul Biya and La Republique du Cameroon to have concession and to come to negotiate and find a solution to this problem. And Paul Biya will do what he really wants to do. And I'm going to tell you what Cameroon wants to do. And the international community are aware of Paul Biya's plan. Paul Biya intends to use military force and attain military victory over Ambazonia. Not absolute military victory, but that is his intention. Paul Biya do not intend to even give us the special status. The special status was granted as a result of pressure from the international community, including France. And that special status, most of the hardliners in La Republique du Cameroon do not even want that special status, and they want to nullify that special status and dilute it by granting special status to all regions in Cameroon. So this is our immediate future that we face if we do not change our path And changing our path, I do not mean that we abandon our quest for freedom or independence. No, don't get me wrong. We know that there are some irresponsible people that are going to continue to try to twist what I'm doing, what I'm saying to you people. But this is very important that you know the risk we face. Number one is that if we do not change the trajectory, if we do not win international support in what we are going to do, Paul Biya will do what he wants to do because that is what Cameroon wants to do. The hardliners within the regime, the Ferdinand Gongo, the Atanganji Paul, and many of those people who do not want any concession, who do not want negotiation or even dialogue, those hawks and hardliners within the regime, they don't even want the special status that Paul Biya has granted as a result of pressure, which is actually just an administrative instrument used to try to calm down Ambazonians and think that it will work. The special status is a no-brainer for us. It is something that is not acceptable, and it's not something that we can ever accept given what it is and our aspiration. It does not meet our aspiration. So this is what our people must know that we face. We face a situation that if we have total loss, the so-called special status that we have, that they have granted to our territory, will be watered down and nullified by granting it to other regions in La République du Cameroon, and makes it void and not even special anymore. That is what we are going to face. And the way they are going to treat us will be a similar type of situation like the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. Our lands will be seized. Our people will not have any access to justice. If you think that Cameroon is going around killing our people at will, now what will be happening will even be worse than what we see today. The harassment, extortion, our human rights situation will be worse off than we can ever imagine. And God forbid that that is our future. So we must change our trajectory. We cannot do the same thing and expect different result. For the past 7 years, we have been unable to secure international recognition for our state, even though we have had significant effort to help secure at least the support for our right of self-determination. So fellow Ambazonians, I'm going to give you this very critical analysis on what our situation is right now and the things we face and the possibilities we have to move forward. I'm going to be very honest with you, as I've always been. And I'm going to continue to be the vanguard to protect you and make sure that our people are not blindsided with the reality of our future. But first, I must clear all the sticks in your eyes, because for the past 61 years, our population have never been served by people who are absolutely committed to principles. They have been manipulated from one activist to another, one leader to another, and unfortunately, we have not built the collective capacity to be able to understand politics. Our people get easily confused. And the Cameroon have realized it, and they continue to manipulate our people with false information, manufactured propaganda, and things that our people are not capable of understanding. And our activists who were supposed to give our people some standard, or they could look upon them for some standard, are they themselves also suffering from the inferiority of being a slave people? And they keep on fighting each other and competing with each other, and our people are really left for themselves. So I'm going to do this for you first. I'm going to clean out the sticks in our eyes so that we can see straight and do the right thing for our people and the future of our territory. The first video I'm going to play, I'm going to put a series of videos to get you people to have that open eyes, to be able to be reasonable so that we can collectively move, because you can't do something for a people without the people. And I'm very happy that our people have given me the privilege that I am currently the most consequential figure in our country that our people listen to. And I recognize that, and I take that with a lot of responsibility and humility. So The gun is still the solution. I see somebody on the comment section talking about gun is no longer the solution to the crisis, but diplomatic dialogue. It goes together. You have guns and you have diplomacy. That is why I support our armed struggle, and I continue to inspire our soldiers. I continue to train soldiers. I continue to sustain our resistance, and I continue to provide guns and bullets for our soldiers. We must fight and fight until we attain our objective. But we must fight not stupidly, because this fight is taking place in our territory. We must be very smart in how we fight to minimize the cost on our people and to maximize the result we can have. It is not just guns alone. So let's focus now on this thing. So the first video I'm about to show you is a video that is in circulation by the Age of Sea. And they are circulating this video of Gojidinka not because they like Gojidinka, or because they have something to promote.
A proclamation formalizing the sovereignty of our country.
Hold on.
We filed that at the United Nations. That was the time for.
So please just permit me to rewind the video back so that it starts from the beginning. So this video is being played by the Ambazonian Governing Council. Let me not call it the Age of Sea, because it is a disservice to the World Communal Organization. It is being played by Dr. Chose Ayaba's followers and a group of people that are blindly following him. And if you are one of those people, take your time and listen to me and judge for yourself if I am actually right or wrong. Judge for yourself. I don't mind. Anything that is right can stand the test of knowledge. Make this determination by yourself. So I'm going to play this video. It is being circulated for two reasons. One, it is because they want to attack the image of Nijon Fundi, who is actually an enabler and is somebody I should not even support him. I don't support Fundi. Understand that. But in a political movement, there are decisions and positions that leaders take for the interests of the country, even with people that they don't like, or people that they feel have failed the country. So remember something. Von Gojidinka, in his other audios, have called the members of the Youth League, the SCYL, that used to be Ebenezer Apanga, Ayabacho Lucas, and Park Karwan in Jakiri, and all the crew that launched attack against La République du Cameroon as terrorists. Gojidinka has called them as terrorists. I just want you people to know. So when they pick a video of Gojidinka to play, it is not because they actually support Gojidinka or they actually are in line with Gojidinka. What they are just doing is mind games over our people. And like some of waiting it happen always say, if Capo you don't say it, our people will never understand. So I'm going to play this video for you, and I'm actually going to tell you what this video means, so that you will not be blindsided and you will not be manipulated politically. So listen to this video of Gojidinka, which I respect a lot. And his movement is one of those movements that have also attracted me for a long time. So listen to him.
There was a proclamation formalizing the sovereignty of our country. We filed that at the United Nations. That was the time first time I came here. We filed in the United Nations in 1990. And we were advised by colleagues in the United Nations. We have examined the documentation of how people got together and found that there is nothing at the UN here which legalizes the Republic of Cameroon ruling our country. But
so I want to explain so that our people have at least a background information of what is happening. Gojidinka is talking about a judgment in the Bamenda High Court, where the sovereignty of Ambazonia was reaffirmed by the judge. He might be talking about other court document, but in this video, if you watch it in its entirety, he's talking about, let me say, a court judgment that reaffirms our sovereignty that he submitted to the United Nations. And I want our people to always be able to understand politics and know that people play politics. This is more of politics what Gojidinka was doing. And a lot of our people have never perceived it that way, because those who are activists, most of them don't even know, I would think. Otherwise, they would have told you people, or those who are supposed to educate our population are not doing so for political reasons. So Gordidinka had submitted that court judgment to the United Nations, and what he did not say is that that document, that his submission wasn't accepted, but instead an advice was given to him. Because one would expect that if you submit something, it is because you want something. If you don't get that thing, it means that they have not accepted what you were demanding. Or might be they tell you to go back and do something or bring more document so that what you were demanding will be accepted. Nevertheless, he submitted that judgment to the United Nations, and according to him, friends within the United Nations gave him an advice. And this is the advice. Listen to it.
Your MPs, the people you have elected, are given legitimacy by the fact that they are participating in the government of the Republic of Cameroon. If you can get your people to boycott that parliament, we will give you a seat here, because we applied for a seat to be given to Ambazonia in the United Nations. So I had this discussion with Fundi by phone. Donald Ngundam was there. It was a conference call. I told him what the situation was. And this it required just blackmail. It's a matter of writing a letter to these MPs that by the 31st of October, you stop going to Yaoundé, because Yaoundé Parliament was to meet about the 4th or 6th of November. If they were absent from that Parliament for only 48 hours, we would have been free. In fact, even today, you people who say you have control about these boys back home, if they get our members of Parliament to be absent from Yaoundé Parliament, we will become free. So, Frundi will airmail the papers to him. When they arrived, Frundi took them and burnt them. We couldn't understand what happened. However, a separate set was sent to Yombam in Douala. He took it across to Stephen Tita in Limbe. Stephen Tita summoned the 4 members of Parliament of Baku, and it was a unanimous support to boycott. It was 100% support. Those 4 members of Parliament said there has to be a boycott. But then, before they realized, they heard that black people were already around it. MPs were there. They had to, because they had not received any papers. We had not seen any. So this is how we lost our first opportunity of becoming, we would have been free since 1990.
So, fellow Ambazonian, this clip from Gordidinka is blaming Nijon Fundi of sabotaging or standing on the way of our first chance of independence, according to what he said. In 1990, he said that he went to the United Nations and submit the proclamation of formalizing our sovereignty. And the United Nations tell him that the only reason they cannot allow us to, he applied for a seat for us in the United Nations, and they told him the reason they cannot admit us as a member or give us a seat in the United Nations, and it is because of 2 things. One is that he said that our parliamentarians in Cameroon were legitimizing Cameroon's rule over our territory, and the United Nations could not see any instrument of law that permits Cameroon to rule us. But the fact that our parliamentarians are participating in Cameroon Parliament, we could not be granted a seat in the United Nations, and that if all of our parliamentarians were to withdraw from Parliament within 48 hours, they were absent from Parliament, the United Nations would grant us independence or grant us a seat in the United Nations. And so Frundi sabotaged that effort, according to him. And according to him, the same document was sent to our parliamentarians from FACO. All of them accepted to withdraw from La Republique, but the so-called Grafi parliamentarians, the next day they heard that they were in Yaoundé because they didn't receive the memo. So this is I want our people to understand that I love Godidinka and I respect him. But in this new age, we have all studied. I did law and political science. I have studied in this our struggle to assist our people. I think I should be given an honorary PhD for my studies because I've done a lot of research. One thing our people should know is that this is just pure politics Godidinka was playing at that particular time. We all know for sure by research, by everything you can learn about how the United Nations work. United Nations do not grant a seat to any nation simply because they make a submission of a court judgment that recognizes their sovereignty. United Nations membership comes by it is a club of countries. That's why they call it United Nations. Nations united to form an organization. For you to be a member of the United Nations, yeah, friendly. Okay, let me do that for you. Okay, I'm gonna send a very urgent email right now. It's just take a minute and then I send the email. Okay, email number 1. It's gone. It's 3 email. January. Email number 2. I'm sorry, I have to keep the whole nation waiting because of my wife request. Okay, gone. The last email. Okay. Okay. Okay, the last email is gone. So, we all know how the United Nations works. For members to be admitted as a member of the United Nations, you must be recognized as an independent country by members of the United Nations, who then submit, or the Secretary General then will submit to the General Assembly an application, and that application will be voted by the General Assembly that recognizes and admit that country as a member of the United Nations. That resolution will now be submitted to the Security Council for approval. That is how countries become member of the United Nations. It is not because you go and tell them that your parliamentarians have withdrawn. And the fact that he said that if our parliamentarians were absent from the parliament within 48 hours, we are going to be independent or be granted independence is also not true. Those are just political languages that they use to put pressure on the population so that the population will put pressure on political leadership so that they will do the right thing and lean towards our aspiration for freedom. That is what I believe Godidinka was trying to do. So in 1990, Godidinka was applying this pressure to Nijon Fundi. And Nijon Fundi had a choice. Should I pursue the Ambazonian freedom, or I should fight for democracy within Cameroon after an unprecedented success to have a first political party and the support of not just Ambazonians but Cameroonians, Francophones, who were supporting Fundi. So nobody in the position of Fundi would refuse to go into election, refuse to fight for democracy, when at that time they have granted him the right to open a political party. Nobody would do that. So what he was asking was not realistic. Fundi had to go and try to become president or try to rule that country and be rejected before he could even be in a position to make a determination whether to pursue a path that protects Anglophones or not. So this statement that is being circulated, this video circulated by the Dr. Chuayaba's group of people on Facebook page, which is meant to make the same case Godidinka was making for Ambazonians to reject any political leader that fights within the Cameroon system, or to blame them that is because of them we don't have freedom, is not correct. Those are just manipulation. So our people should know for sure that what Godidinka was saying in this particular speech, do not take it literally. I've spoken to even Edwin Gang, who is an intellect and a very strong representative of Gojidinka, he also expresses the same thing, that it was not literally that if our parliamentarian will resign, everybody, we are going to have independence. These are just politics. And unfortunately, our people are not capable to understand making this distinction. So people will manipulate them. So do not go and blame that Fundi. Because of Fundi, he burned a paper, so we do not have our independence. So that is not correct. Anybody who thinks that way and have not forgiven Fundi and all the hatred because of this speech, please, it is not true. I'm not making this to defend Fundi. I'm just trying to open your eyes to know other things, because these have serious ramification of what is happening. So, if our parliamentarian, as for Gojidinka, have said that it was also a matter of blackmail. First of all, the parliamentarians that were existing at those periods were all CPDM parliamentarians in 1990 right up to 1992. Even after 1992, after the presidential election, they were all CPDM parliamentarians. John Fundi did not have absolute authority or strong influence over them than Paul Biya would have. Even if all of them decided to go, it wouldn't have the effect that within 48 hours we'll have independence. It will delegitimize the system. It will raise our questions. And it might have as well flipped things differently during that period as well. I've sent the email. Let me resend for June again. All or which one? Which particular email? I've sent 3. Which month? Okay, let me send June. Okay. Fellow Ambazonians, I will just beg your pardon for a second. Let me send this email that is very important. Okay, apologies, and my phone is loading. Okay, so fellow Ambazonians, as I was explaining to you, what Gojidinka was saying there is not accurate. Okay, this is what I wanted to send. E-statement. June. Just a second, please. June. Okay, it's done. So what I want our people to understand is that this statement that was made by from Gojidinka was wrong. It was not true. It was not accurate. So the chance that they say that we lose our independence on 1990 because our parliamentarians did not withdraw was wrong, and we have to now be very honest on how we can have independence. We have come a long way. Gojidinka have played a very crucial role to get us where we are, and provided us the name for our country. The ideology behind our country has sustained the resistance for a very long time. John Fundi was actually an activist under him, and so these are our parents. But as they say, when a child grows up, we should be able to be wise, and also to advise our parents and take our future in our hands and make sure we can lead our country to the right path. So this assessment by Gojidinka was wrong. The idea that we are also implementing now, which is that we should blackmail parliamentarians or lawmakers or senators so that they should be absent in La Republic's parliament, and because they are absent, we are going to have our independence, is also not true. When they are not in that parliament, we would delegitimize the parliament and refuse Cameroon political participation. It is very important, but that is not going to automatically grant us independence. It is going to give us a strong hand to question Cameroon's right to rule over our population, and we need a combination of things for us to be able to have independence. So I'm not saying that to say that that is not something that will help us to have independence. It is just a tool, and it will also depend on how we use that tool as part of our arsenals to fight for independence for our people. Okay, that said and done, I want to play the second video, which I'm going to put to you to understand exactly a series of things, as I said, to open your eyes before we go forward. This other video is a video from Dr. Cho Ayaba. He has made a series of statements. The one I want to play, I'm going to play it later, second. So I'll first play the one that he talks about unity for you people to understand exactly.
Especially the IG care. Especially the IG care has been the greatest obstacle to genuine collaboration and unity. And it has presented itself in building proxy alliances with SCNC and the consortium, somehow revealing all of the factions that, the splinters. That's why even when we announced pre-Canada tours, only the egg of C arrived Toronto. The consortium never showed up. SNC never showed up. IG never showed up. They refused that we didn't go out together. But every day they are out there shouting Ambazonia, we stand for the flag, we stand for the flag. No, they are not interested in Ambazonia. They are interested in relevance. For them, the struggle is a platform for political posturing. Look, liberation struggle is a place to go and die. If you are a movement leader in the liberation struggle, it's a place to go and die and go to jail. It's not a place to profile. Do you see them fighting the enemy? We have made the decision. The AGOC will no longer waste its time with arsonists, with political adventurers who are interested in political posturing in the face of a war of attrition against our people. We don't.
So this is Dr. Cho Ayaba. This is very short, and then I'll take you to actually the video I want to show so that you people understand, because we are dealing with the life of 8 million people. For a long time, there are many things I have gone along in this struggle because I just believe that in my zeal to fight for freedom, I just want us to get there. I've tried to moderate things from within. It has clearly not worked, and things have unfolded to show to all of us Ambazonians what the various movements really stands for. This is Dr. Cho Ayaba accusing the IG of Seseko Ayoktabi that they don't stand for Ambazonia, that they are the biggest problem for unity, and that they are not fighting for Ambazonia. They are just using this thing as a platform. A lot of accusation there, and say that he has made up his mind that they will not go in for unity with them because they will not stand together with them. I just want to show you what Dr. Cho Ayaba is actually standing for. And remember that from the beginning of this struggle, you have never seen Dr. Cho Ayaba as a main person that promotes this type of ideology of division. But he has actually been the main person. If you go back, this is a post made by Horace, who used to be my assistant there. And these are the things that have been engineered by Dr. Cho Ayaba. He says that Ambazonia, note Fongoji Dinkas, declared independence. It's Ambazonian. Note, Ambazonian, take note. Fongoji Dinka declared our independence in 1984. Justice Ebong reaffirms it in 1999, while Ayoktabi asserts it in 2017. Ayabacho is defending the independence declared. So Ayabacho is basically saying, you remember when Seseko declares independence, everybody was happy. I was happy. I could not express the joy. I finally could feel that I have a country I can call my own, an anthem everybody was happy. Millions of Ambazonia came out to celebrate. Ayaba Cho alone said that Seseko was wrong. You cannot declare an independence without preparing an army. You cannot defend it. And this is actually his mindset, what he has indoctrinated his followers. That Seseko's independence, actually he just wants to dismiss Seseko. He said, okay, Seseko just reaffirmed, he did not declare it. Actually, it was Godidinka who declared the independence. So he's actually eliminating Seseko from there. And imagine how can we unite when people come and dismiss the input of others and blackmail other people because you just want to assume that you want to be on top there. This is our greatest problem. I disagree with Seseko and the IG for the only issue I disagree with them because of that exclusive right that they claim. And I've always told the egg of C, that is the only problem. We are diverse people. We must accept that. People have different constituencies and they bring different people. You cannot try to eliminate everybody because of the divergence. It is it will benefit us that every faction is strong. So long as we focus on the common things that unite us, the things that we disagree, we pinpoint those things and we debate about it. That is how you even get people to change. It's not by blackmailing them and dismissing them. So these have always been the what Dr. Choyaba have been working behind the scene to do. And most of the time we ignore those things because I just want things to go ahead, we thinking that we'll reach there. So this is his actual statement that I wanted to talk about today, to path the way for me to bring you on how we are going to move forward.
What it looks like translating battle victories into political victories. I'm going to speak for them in good times and in bad times. I'm going to defend their bravery, ensure their security. The sanctity of their effort is upheld by the conduct of our people. I have said to the different forces I have been communicating with, for 7 straight years, I have been at the forefront to try to build some level of consensus between myself and all the other political leaders in the diaspora. It hasn't worked because of short-sightedness, because most they don't have their hand in the game.
So, Dr. Choyaba, this is the dishonesty that is going on, both with Dr. Choyaba trying to play out these tricks with the international communities and with our people. After you blackmail everybody you disagree. I think if anybody was doubting what they have been doing, I am now your clear example. You cannot say that you don't know it again. Look at what they have tried to do to me. Go out there to blackmail, make up stories, just to discredit me, even ask for my assassination and the assassination of my family members. And even to go ahead with soldiers that are standing with me. So you should have no idea about what Dr. Choyaba, the game he's playing. And then after you blackmail everybody, now you are saying that you want to tell the soldiers and the international community that you have tried everything to unite with everybody. And that the other leaders, they don't have a hand in the game. So hear what he has to say.
Because of short-sightedness, because most they don't have their hand in the game. They do not understand what it takes to be free. What they are interested in is power and political posturing.
So Ayabacho the talk say all leader them, they no get hand in the game. All which way they want a political posturing. I will guarantee you, fellow Ambazonians, all the Ambazonian leaders, they are supporting Ground Zero. They are supporting all the forces. A lot of people. As a matter of fact, 90% of the actions that goes on the ground are not even support from the diaspora. 90% are not from the diaspora. I just want you to have this right perspective. Then I'll play the video, we go forward so that you hear.
In war, what you are interested in are guns and bullets. La Republique does not care how many villages it burns. It doesn't give a damn how many people die. It doesn't care what the international community thinks. It does not attack its forces.
It does not betray its soldiers. It does not act on one brigade to kill members of the other brigade.
So I want make una hear. I have actually talked say La Republic no care how many villages them burn. They don't care how many people they kill them. Why that is true? Our people have to know this. The way the international community view us, because the other thing is that when people say things like this, they give the impression to Ambazonian soldiers that you can go out there and do whatever you can do and the world will look at it the same way they would look at what La Republic is doing. It is not true. A country within its borders can go out and destroy a dam. You can go out and destroy anything. In your house, you can destroy anything inside your house. When a country holds the power of sovereignty, the government even have the rights to kill people, to protect people. With that claim, with that justification, they can make laws that kill people. But it should be in line with international law. Even when you carry capital punishment is killing people, this is no justification for what Paul Biya is doing. Because what he is doing in our country, he do not have that power to be there. It is a contestation going on. He is committing war crimes. And international law do not allow people to do anything they can do within their country. But the way the international community will perceive La République du Cameroon actions within our territory and the way they will perceive our actions within our territory are totally different. Because we recognize ourselves as an independent country, but the international community do not. So they will perceive our actions differently and will come out and expect La République to take actions by themselves to resolve issues, but with us it will be different. So do not fall for that error to think that the way actions or activities carried out by us is regarded in the same way the La République is carrying out actions. Do not fall for that. It's a very dangerous, slippery slope. But I'm not in any way trying to justify La République because they don't have the right to kill people and commit war crimes. But the perception about their actions and our actions are totally different. Our people should be educated about that. Because the propensity is that everybody will go out there and say, hey, if La République do anything, Capo Daniel, why are you asking us to show restraint and respect international law? Then we will make a big mistake that will end up destroying our struggle. So remember that very, very well. I'll play the video for Dr. Cho, let you hear.
It is united in its determination.
He said also one thing.
It does not betray its soldiers. It does not act on one brigade to kill members of the other brigade.
So this is why you should understand. Ayabacho said that La République does not betray its soldiers or ask one group to kill another group. But there he is asking soldiers through his spokesman to attack not me, Capo Daniel, that I have divergence with them and they are afraid that whatever they are thinking about, but to attack my family. If you, Dr. Chuayaba, through your spokesman, as we know how you engineered because I've worked with you, you asked that my family members should be targeted, are you not worse than La République? Because you said La République do not do that to themselves. If you will ask our own people to go against our own people, the way you are doing, do you think anybody can actually believe what you are saying anymore? Don't you see that you have lost credibility? That is why a lot of people have been warning about this character that you have exhibited today. But what is more important about people is that this is not about me. I'm just there as a guinea pig for you to open your eye, which is something that I'm determined to do till this struggle comes to its expectant end. But listen.
It is united in its determination, using all what it has, including what it can gather from our territory, to ensure it defeats Ambazonia, continue to occupy our land, exploit our resources, and torment us for the next 1,000 years.
So La République is determined to defeat Ambazonia. That is what I am determined to defeat La République and give our people freedom. And if you are determined to defeat La République and give us freedom, it must allow you to even allow yourself to allow other people who are better to move forward. If you are there trying to eliminate all Ambazonia who can help you along the way, and every other factions that may differ with you but are very crucial in helping you, then you are not helping Ambazonia, because you cannot do it all alone. You can definitely not do it all alone. You need everybody to help us achieve our goal of independence. But if what you are doing in practice is diminishing everybody, dismissing everybody, with the hope that you will become the King Kong, at the end of the day, what will you do with that victory? What will you be able to do? Will you be able to even attain a victory? No, definitely not. So listen very well, my people.
On the other side must be a leader who is willing to die, who is willing to provide the vision, the perspective, the resources, mobilize our people intellectually, materially and otherwise, and be ready to sacrifice his own or her own liberty to ensure our forces are armed, that they fight together, that they are resourced, they are provided with what every soldier needs. First, to stay alive, defend our population, and defeat Cameroon, and make sure we hold them accountable for the pain they have imposed on us.
So, Dr. Cho is prescribing two things: that you must have a leader who is willing to governize our people intellectually, right? You must have a leader who is able to die and go to jail. That is a risk that every leader should be able to take. But the idea that leaders should come to liberation struggle to go to jail entails that people come to be able to commit crimes. And this is not just what he said, because from every policy that the soldiers will bring to Ayabacho, his answers are yes. You don't come to a liberation struggle as a leader to commit crime or to permit war crimes or to allow excessive behaviors of soldiers just so that you have that mandate from them. You are more focused on giving the soldiers a blank check to provide whatever policies they have, be it cutting of ID card, be it blocking of roads, be it every type of rubbish in the name of freedom. I would even say that is not even true. It is as bad as that one is. Look at what Sako and Chris Anu are. For them, the soldiers don't condemn them. It is they who go and impose excessive policies on our people. I'm just showing you people to know what is actually going on in our struggle so that we can then move forward too. So Dr. Cho Ayaba is saying that now, after he has dismissed all the leaders and said that they will never have unity with anybody, he's going to do it all alone. He now said that he is speaking for all Ambazonian soldiers. That is his capacity, speaking for all Ambazonian soldiers. But we all know that those are all lies. What our people have to know, which is what I've told Dr. Cho, and which is a fact. What are my notes? I don't have my notes there. Is that Dr. Cho Ayaba do not command, do not control 5% of ADF forces. Hear me very well. The forces that Dr. Cho Ayaba call ADF forces, that he is claiming to the international community and to the AGOFC members that he have control over them, he does not. He does not have control over the forces that he even claims are ADF forces. So these are all facts. The relationship Ayabacho have with forces are affiliations. Of course, the AGOFC, the ADF, is a group, one of the groups that have had training on the ground and recruited soldiers and trained them. The core of that forces is the mother base that was run by General Ivor. Then now you have General Big Number who is running that particular unit, that core unit. But that unit do not submit itself to Dr. Cho Ayaba's foot for control. General Epang do not take direct command from Ayabacho. He listens to him and he decides on what to do. It is not a command relationship, a command and control relationship. He listens to him and he decides on what to do, because Ayabacho does not have sovereign power over him. I was there with him. I know how many orders Ayabacho have given, and none of them were taken or implemented. I mean, none. Most of the time, he will call me to give them those orders, including the execution of Regina Mundi and many other orders that were given and were just discarded. So, even among the forces that you call are ADF forces, Bush Rambo, he's an ADF. The AGOFC have been told that he's also an ADF, but we have seen him making public statements. His soldiers call themselves the Black Shoes of Oko. I'm the one who forced that name upon them, ADF. They affiliate with ADF, but they have made it clear that they are an independent force. They want to be independent. Even if you go and force them today to come and say that they are ADF, but we know that they want to be independent force. They are an independent force. General Foolishman, Senseman have publicly declared that he is a universal soldier. So even if you come and claim that these are ADF soldiers, but he has said so publicly that he is a universal soldier. So the relationship Ayabacho have with him is the relationship he have with other leaders. People, he listens to everybody and makes decisions for himself. You don't command him. So for you to come and tell the war, as you are telling diplomats that you command all Ambazonian soldiers, that is just completely lie. You do not command him. Our own general in Bui have come up and make public statement that pays his loyalty to the Bui Unity Warriors. But he's still an ADF. Those are soldiers you call ADF. I just want to tell you that you don't have control of 5% of the ADF soldiers you claim are under your control. You say you control all soldiers and you command all soldiers in Ground Zero. We all know that that is all lie. You do not control and command General Sagat. You do not control and command General Sky. You do not control and command General Saigon, General Blink, General Tok and Do, General Nyi of Bui, of Boyo, General Commander Sunshine in Atlantic State there, Captain Messiah, and right now even General Savior that is in captivity in the ADF. You do not control and command Sokadev. So even General Nyangono or General Lucifer, you don't command and control them. So stop lying and stop deceiving yourself. Ambazonians should understand that the issue of command and control in this our liberation struggle is a matter of influence. It's a matter of credibility. It's not a matter of you have sovereign power. You are not paying anybody's salary. When you collect money, people give you that money. It's not your property. You go and share it. You go and share that money. And for the most part, the money that the Dr. Chuayaba have been sharing on Ground Zero have not been going primarily for weapons. Soldiers have staged many things to him. They have been buying weapons, no doubt about that. No doubt they have been buying weapons. But the vast majority of that money have been wasted. I'll play videos of ADF soldiers, top generals who have given me those statements to make out there. And those things are there. So these are facts I'm giving you. The command and control of our forces, of Ambazonian forces, do not exist as an absolute command and control. What we have is sovereignty. What we have is influence. And you don't speak for all Ambazonian soldiers. Me, I speak for the interests of our country. I speak for the interests of our country. I'm the most consequential, influential leader that the whole nation have their ears on me. And our soldiers, they believe in me and they have confidence and trust in me. It's not because I go and provide them with money, which sometimes I do in my own ways, but it's not sufficient. It's not a matter of money. You collect money, you give them, you come and project and you come and lie that you are commanding all forces in Ground Zero. You don't. You want to speak for their interests. You say you speak for their interests in terms of good times and in terms of bad times. When the attack took place in Ekondo Titi, where were you? I had to force you to make a statement. When they attack our children in Kumba, in those bad times, what did you say? When they killed the guy in Bamenda, what did you say? So I speak for the interests of our country. I speak for the interests of all forces in Ground Zero. I don't have absolute command and control of all forces, but definitely I speak for their interests. And that is accurate and that is proper. And I speak for all Ambazonians when it comes to our national interests. And all of our leaders, they must realize these things. It is time for us to reconcile our people and our entire constituencies of the various parts so that we can take advantage of the political capital that have been provided to us to help our people attain the maximum achievement they can have and preserve and the pathway for us to have independence. Because if we keep on going down this path, we will not attain independence. We will have a total loss. We have a total loss. We have had the best chances to free our people, and what did you do? Because of your own personal ego, because you wanted La Republique to come and meet you personally. For what reason? Only you and God alone knows. and you jeopardize the entire country's interest because of your personal interest. You have put your interests and your group interests ahead of the country's interests. Your conduct does not merit the conduct of somebody who can manage our country. Somebody who goes out and asks people to murder other Ambazonians, kill those who are rival with them, and go and lie to the international community about me and many other people. You are making a fool of yourself. And if you convince these your few people that follows you on Facebook page, that reshares you what you put on Facebook page, if you convince them and they end up intimidating everybody like they have been doing to a lot of people, and you are there by yourself, you will still lose, because those things will not be enough for us to win. We are going to win. We are going to win this war by our ability to bring everybody together. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me go now to what I had told you people I have to present to you, now that I've taken this out of the way. So, fellow Ambazonians, our struggle have received a very big blow, which is our losing of the commitment we have for negotiation with La République du Cameroon that was secured during the pre-talks in Canada. The result of that have been very devastating and has put our country back. Despite the fact that for these 7 years we have been unable to have recognition of our territory, this chance that we have had that was given to us by the international community have gone away. For us to secure the international support again for our struggle, we must appeal for the good conscience of the international community. We must prove that we are not just chasing personal ambitions like what we have demonstrated in Canada, that we put minor things ahead of big things. We must send a message to the enemy, La République du Cameroon, that we are people who are willing to negotiate. Even we know that they know that that is what we want, but they are pretending. To make it so obvious that La République du Cameroon will not take advantage of our posture. I'm not saying that we are not for negotiation. Everybody knows that we are for negotiation. But our people must realize that you don't win a war by talking to yourself. You don't win a war by convincing your friends. You win a war by convincing even the enemy that it is in their best interest to give up now. You win a war by convincing and making allies with people who do not support your agenda, but you show them that they have a common interest to join and partner with you to fight a common interest. It is our ability to convince Cameroonians that it is their interest for them not to support Paul Biya's war against Ambazonia. It is for their interest to stand up for justice, even for us in Ambazonia. For us to win, it is for us to make allies, even with political people, like people within the opposition parties, people within the church groups, people within the various civil society that cannot at this moment openly support our agenda for independence and separation. Our ability to governize those people's support is very crucial for our success to independence. We also will need to make things right, to have right standing with the international community vis-a-vis our narrative and our advocacy, which is something I'm going to get into very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of time and because I've been distracted a lot, I'm still having messages. I will come to you to tell you exactly the shortcomings of our narrative, the shortcoming of our case, the justification of our case as seen by the international community, and tell you people the right narrative that we're supposed to put forth there and what we have to teach our people. Standing for the truth and the right does not take away our strength, does not reduces our chances, but it strengthens us, because only the truth shall set us free. Only the truth is the solid ground. Any other ground is sinking sand. We have been sinking for these past 7 years. We don't know where the problem is. All we know is that we are too divided. Our population is disoriented. and we have been confused. Our people have been confused. Young men who have trusted us with their lives to fight for our freedom have also been misused. It is time for us to come back home. I'll be appealing to everybody to come back home, to all the civil society groups, all the political parties, all those who have, in the beginning of this struggle, tried to help in one way or the other, but they got discouraged because of blackmail, sabotage, and hate. Sometimes those things were also engineered directly by La République du Cameroon propagandists and magnified, which is their job to do. But it is our own job to love each other and bridge those gaps and make sure we can counter what the enemy is doing so that we can secure for our people a pathway to freedom and independence. I'm going to lay before you in a very transparent manner everything, my vision, and how I want everybody to come together so that we together can pursue a path that independence will be attainable, not a path that is doomed to defeat, not a path that has been rejected outrightly already. That basket of Dr. Chuayaba is not a basket where we can put our eggs there. He has been sanctioned by the United States of America. That is a deadly blow. Whether you like it or not, that is not a basket we can put our eggs inside. And he has demonstrated by himself, publicly, his character as not befitting. Do not expect any of the organizations, as I've said, to come out there publicly to support us or to support our movement for independence, unless God touches their heart, because all our movements have failed to live up to patriotism, have failed to adopt best practices that will enable them to be able to support things that are attainable or workable, so long as it does not guarantee them that they will be on top. So long as it does not guarantee them that their own personal interests will be catered for, even activists will not do the right thing. So because of time constraint, I will end here, and tomorrow I will continue to give you concrete articulation of the vision we have to free our country, what the international community thinks, what we can do, what we are unable to do, what we can attempt to do, but more importantly, what are the chances for us to obtain our independence? Are there chances for us to obtain independence? Can we attain independence? Yes, there are a pathway to independence that we must secure those pathways. We must. Because if we don't, even the crumbs that La République have thrown on our people today will be taken away from us. So stand strong, stand on a strong foundation, stand on the truth. And for our soldiers on the ground who have been calling me every day, trying to say, Capo, let's do this, to go out there and raise funds, it's now not the time. And those who wants to say I should create a platform to bring everybody together. Some who have asked that I should put some executive and a structure to be able to accomplish what we are doing. Do not worry. Everything is under control. I do things as they warrant it. Right now, there is a lot of work we need to do in our demographic so that we can be able to propel our people towards the right direction. We need this education. We need to prepare people for what we have to do. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I hope I can round it up within these few days. I'll be resuming my work as well tomorrow. So I'll be having limited chances, but I'm committed to make sure that I put our country first and dedicate my time and my life, as I've been doing for the past 7 years and even more, to accomplish these joint projects we have, which is to free ourselves from this slavery that we have entered with La République. We have lost all control of our governance. As a matter of fact, we were better off under the trusteeship than we are today. Look at our northern Cameroon, which is together with Nigeria. They have self-governance. They run their own affairs. They have their own local laws. But we that attend self-governance, we have lost everything. We have been stripped of everything, and today we are being butchered up and down. So I will leave that issue. But before I leave it, I think I should play a video of one of our ADF soldiers. This is one of our top commanders in Bamenda. I've altered his voice a little bit, but he says something that are very important that I want you people to hear. Because when I come, I tell you people about Dr. Chuayaba, he does not control more than 5% of the ADF forces. So, control in our struggle is not command. He does not command and control them. It's all about influence. So he should know that he's not the only one who gives them money. And it's not even about money. But he's not the only one who have influence over them. Let me play this video. I've altered the voice a little bit for the protection of these soldiers, for his own security. But this is one of our top commander in the Bamenda Brigade, one of the godfathers, I would say the godfathers, those who have fought very well for all these years, alongside General Gaba, and to this day, you can listen to him.
We will not for oversight. When I struggle, gather money, send out for lap. They take money, they exhaust money, do one, any man take them. Now, BB, when I ask them, do one. Oh my good God. Only money, me, we are observant. You will. Whatever you want to spend them, you invest them for lap. You are lap. Weapon, you are lap. You forget them. I know songs here. But I'm looking for them. Come Mushdi. They are million charge. Mushdi. We are lab. Come was the mother's barrack. Wait until you never did know. Because you cough for a lab. I'm looking for them. Come Mushdi. They took on the weapon and they don't put that into use. They only work at the blacks and they give weapon them. Take this long charger. Meet to the patrol. For the Notara, GG, Capo, and something I never for them. How we, you never show and let's say, you don't name cause at some time. I see and they say, my king, don't try, rest. Capo, my take care, will you not tell God will make a way for me.
So, they one of our top leaders inside the ADF Bamenda Brigade, where it react to which way they go on. They tell now, say the vast majority of money we don't send them, including myself, with Dr. Chuayaba and the ADF. All of those money, they go now for people that will go use and build their house and the soldier they send and they go now go build the housing. According to this soldier, that the top commander then that's for inside Bamenda Brigade for ADF. Now for sure, I say when they send money, they need to send money. I say the one for buy weapons, they send money now for buy name. And when you send money for buy name, your priority and the way you send and the type of people that you choose for give them the money. Now people they will take that money, they will knock and stick for your head day. So these are the realities on the ground. So Dr. Chuayaba, you need to control even 5% of ADF. You are not in command and control of those forces. So stop deceiving yourself and stop lying to the international community. You have put a structure, but those structures do not work absolutely. This struggle is about influence, not about command and control alone. We have pushed these things because we wanted things to go further. We think that it will help us, but at the end of the day, you have not put the national interest ahead. That was the purpose which I supported you and gave you the credibility that I did. You have misused it, you have blundered. I just wanted to play that and there are many other videos. This our soldier actually have made a video and sent me the video in case something was to happen to him, for his voice to be heard exactly what he has said. And not only him, all the barracks, even the one-eye ADF soldier who for money's sake and for their own transaction, they are trying to also come behind and make like they are against Capo Daniel. Even the soldiers who are under those ones, they are also coming to me and tell me, Capo, now a big man is very mess up. We know say what you talk and are true, what you stand for are true. So I'll provide for you people all those materials. including the research for Brassaris drinks, those conversations with all the soldiers. I will try to see how I will blur their audios, but I'll let you people know. So we are on the right track. We are fighting for a just cause. We should not spoil it with excesses. We can win La Republique so easily. One of the biggest problems we have, because when you get into a war is not a game. A war is a game for killing. When you get into a war, you must fight to win the enemy, to neutralize them as much as you can. But even that killing instinct from our soldiers have been neutralized by the partisanship and dirty politics of these leaders that you have seen. That's why you see Mrs. Mundi end up being free. That's why you see now today we have Cameroon government delegate and head of this regional assembly arrested by Blink. It is now not being focused about our struggle, it's about money. If I did not stand on Regina Mundi and say that I want political solution, I want political demands, I demand for Powerful Ngalafo to be released. If I did not put my stand, it will not be that this struggle would have been defined as something else. I've worked very hard for our country because I believe in our freedom. And I believe our people deserve the service I can provide so that their sacrifices should not be wasted by those who want to take advantage of it, not for the sake of the people, but for their own private, their own interests. That will not happen. So, fellow Ambazonians, I don't come back. I will bring one the news from my engagement with everybody, so that we can know how we can move forward and how we can win this thing. And to know what we cannot do, the things that are working and the things that cannot work and the things that will never work. I'll bring all those things to you people so that we move together. God bless you all and have a good day. Ciao.